Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract success like a magnet, while others work just as hard yet struggle to move forward? What if the difference isn't just effort or strategy, but something hidden much deeper inside you? Something written in your personality, your emotions, maybe even your zodiac sign. Here's a surprising truth. Libras are quietly becoming some of the most successful and wealthy people of our time, not because they chase money, but because they understand something most people ignore: the power of balance, the power of connection, and the subtle, silent art of influencing the world through inner harmony. In this video, we're going to explore why Libra, the sign of balance and beauty, holds the secret to creating real, lasting wealth. This isn't just about astrology, it's about human psychology. It's about understanding yourself and learning how to shape your future with the strengths already inside you. So, if you've ever felt that you were meant for more, that success should feel natural, not forced, you're in the right place. Stay with me until the end, because what you'll discover today could change the way you think about your own life path. And if you find this topic inspiring, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Give this video a like and share it with someone who needs this message. Now, let's begin. Have you ever met someone who seems to always know the right thing to say at exactly the right moment? Someone who can calm down an argument, inspire confidence in a meeting, or make even strangers feel seen and understood. Chances are, you've met a Libra. But what makes this ability so special? And more importantly, how can it lead them to success? Let's explore something most people overlook: emotional intelligence. Libras have a quiet gift for sensing what people around them are feeling. It's not just surface-level empathy, it's a deep, almost instinctive awareness of emotional undercurrents. Imagine sitting in a tense business negotiation. Voices are raised, people feel defensive, while others react emotionally. A Libra notices what's not being said. They feel the fear behind someone's anger. They hear the hesitation behind someone's confident words. And instead of pushing back, they respond with calm, balanced energy. They create emotional safety. Suddenly, walls come down, solutions appear, deals close, and no one even realizes how it happened. In real life, this might look like a Libra manager stepping into a team argument and turning chaos into collaboration, or a Libra entrepreneur who senses a client's hidden concern and addresses it before it becomes a problem. Emotional mastery isn't loud, it's not showy, but it's one of the most powerful skills Libras carry quietly with them. And in business, emotional safety builds trust. Trust builds loyalty, and loyalty builds success. But why do Libras seek harmony so much? Is it just a personality trait? Actually, it's something deeper. Think about this. For Libras, peace isn't just comfortable, it's necessary. Their minds crave equilibrium the way we crave air. When conflict or imbalance arises, they can't ignore it. They're drawn to restore balance not as an act of kindness, but as a personal need. Now, this might sound like a weakness at first glance. In a competitive world, isn't conflict necessary sometimes? Here's the truth most people miss. While others fight to win, Libras fight for balance. And this changes everything. Imagine two companies negotiating a merger. One side demands, pressures, pushes. The other, led by a Libra, listens, balances, proposes win-win solutions. Who do you think closes the deal smoothly? Who walks away with long-term respect and repeated business? Harmony seeking isn't avoidance, it's a strategic tool, a way of turning emotional tension into opportunity, a way of turning chaos into clarity. And this ability makes Libras irreplaceable not just in relationships, but in business, leadership, and wealth building. Another quiet strength of Libra is their balanced optimism. In a world where people either dream too big and crash, or think too small and stay stuck, Libras find the middle path. They believe in success, but they're not naive. They see risks, they calculate carefully. Yet, they move forward with hope. This blend of realism and positivity is rare, and it's powerful. Imagine launching a new business. Some people rush in, ignoring the risks, and fail fast. Others hesitate endlessly, paralyzed by fear. But a Libra? They plan carefully, see the obstacles clearly, and then step forward anyway, holding a vision of success without ignoring reality. This mindset keeps them steady in storms. When setbacks hit, they don't spiral into negativity. Instead, they ask, "What can I learn here? How can I adjust?" And then they keep going. Balanced optimism isn't about blind faith, it's about resilient hope, and this quiet, steady hope is what keeps Libras moving long after others give up. You might wonder, where does this balance come from? It's not just emotional, it's strategic. Libras know that too much emotion clouds judgment, but too much logic alienates people. So, they live in the middle. Heart and mind, intuition and analysis. This equilibrium helps them stay calm under pressure, make thoughtful decisions, and guide others with a sense of peaceful confidence. Clients, investors, even friends, they all feel this calmness, and it draws them in. People trust what feels stable. Libras feel like stability, even when life is chaos. Finally, let's talk about emotional regulation. This is perhaps one of the most underrated skills in life and business. While others let emotions control their reactions, Libras control their emotions without suppressing them. They feel disappointment, frustration, fear, but they don't let those emotions dictate their next move. Instead, they pause, they reflect, they choose their response. This simple difference changes everything. In a crisis, most people react. Libras respond. That difference between reaction and response? That's where true leadership lives. Picture a high-pressure business pitch. Competitors get flustered. A Libra stays composed. They don't let nerves shake their voice. They don't rush their presentation. Their emotional calm transfers to the room. Investors feel safe. Confidence builds. And the deal is sealed not because the Libra shouted the loudest, but because they stayed steady when it mattered most. In life, in leadership, in building wealth, emotions can be your greatest asset or your biggest liability. Libras understand this. They manage emotions not just within themselves, but within everyone around them. They're the emotional thermostat in every room they enter. And this quiet control is where their power begins. So, when you think of Libras, don't just think of charm, beauty, or balance. Think of strategic emotional intelligence. Think of quiet leadership. Think of steady hope. And understand that these inner traits, often invisible to the world, are silently guiding them towards success, wealth, and influence every single day. Have you ever thought about why some people seem to attract opportunities so naturally? It's not always because they're the smartest in the room or the most experienced. Often, it's because they understand the hidden rules of human connection. Libras know this better than anyone. Let's explore a truth that most people overlook. Success isn't built alone. It's built through relationships, partnerships, collaborations. And Libras, they have an almost magical instinct for choosing the right people to walk beside them. It's not about superficial charm. It's about reading energy, subtle signals, quiet details that others ignore. They sense when someone's intentions don't align, and just as easily, they recognize sincerity, shared vision, mutual respect. In business, this ability is priceless. Choosing the wrong partner can cost you years of effort and endless heartbreak. But Libras, they avoid that trap. They don't rush into alliances. They don't get distracted by surface-level qualities. Instead, they trust their intuition. They look deeper. They ask, does this person share my values? Do we want the same future? Are our strengths aligned? And because of this quiet discernment, Libras build powerful networks of trust, loyalty, and support. Over time, this network becomes their greatest asset, not just professionally, but in life. But intuition alone isn't enough. Libras also carry a unique type of creativity. A creativity that's not wild or chaotic, but practical. Imagine facing a problem that no one knows how to solve. Some people panic, others get stuck in old patterns. But a Libra, they pause and they ask, what if we looked at this differently? What if we found a solution no one's thought of yet? This balance between imagination and realism is rare. Libras don't just dream, they calculate. They blend creativity with strategy, and that's why they thrive in spaces where others hesitate. In the business world, this might look like creating a new product, but designing it in a way that meets real-world needs. In personal life, it could be finding unique ways to manage finances, ways that balance future growth with present comfort. What makes this creativity even more powerful is that Libras don't keep their ideas locked inside. They express them, they communicate them, and they do it with a softness that disarms people's defenses. You see, persuasion isn't about being loud or forceful. It's about connecting, about helping people feel safe enough to listen. Libras understand this at their core. Think about a time when you felt pressured by someone selling you something. You resisted, didn't you? That's because humans don't like to be pushed. We like to be understood. Libras know this. They communicate in a way that says, I see you, I hear you. Let me show you why this matters. Their words aren't just arguments, they're invitations. And that's why people say yes to them. In negotiations, in leadership, even in simple conversations, Libras influence people not through manipulation, but through empathy. They speak to hearts, not just minds, and that's where trust is born. Trust that opens doors, trust that builds deals, trust that leads to success. But underneath all of this, there's something even deeper, something that explains why people feel safe around Libras. It's their integrity, their pursuit of fairness. For a Libra, doing the right thing isn't just a choice. It's part of who they are. They're wired to seek justice, to ensure balance, not just for themselves, but for everyone around them. In business, this means they don't cut corners. They don't exploit others for short-term gain. And people sense this. Clients sense it. Partners sense it. Employees feel it. And that's why they stay. Because in a world full of empty promises, a Libra's honesty stands out. This commitment to fairness isn't always easy. It means making tough decisions, walking away from deals that don't feel right, saying no to shortcuts. But over time, it pays off. It builds a reputation, a brand of integrity. And in a world where trust is currency, that brand becomes priceless. So, when you look at Libras, remember, their success isn't built on luck. It's built on emotional intelligence, on intuitive partnerships, on creative problem-solving, on persuasive, authentic communication, and on an unshakable sense of fairness. These are the quiet forces working behind the scenes, the invisible foundations of their success. But we're only halfway through their journey. What comes next reveals the psychological strengths that most people miss completely. Because in the next part of this video, we'll uncover how Libras use visual storytelling, adaptability, and identity flexibility to shape their destiny. And the final 3 traits, they might just challenge everything you thought you knew about success itself. Have you ever noticed how some people create beauty not just through art or design, but through the way they move through life itself? For Libras, beauty isn't just something they appreciate. It's something they embody, and this isn't about appearances. It's about understanding how the human mind connects to what is pleasing, harmonious, and inspiring. Libras use this gift almost without realizing it. When they build a brand, when they present an idea, even when they speak, there's a quiet elegance that draws people in. It's not forced, it's not artificial, it feels real. Because for Libras, beauty is truth. And people instinctively trust what feels beautiful and true. Think of a moment when you saw a product that looked so well designed, you wanted it before you even understood what it did. That's the power of visual storytelling. Libras do this naturally. They create experiences that speak to your subconscious. They build brands, ideas, and even personal images that make others stop and listen. But this isn't manipulation, it's connection. Libras know that in a world overwhelmed by noise, beauty cuts through. And when you combine aesthetic intelligence with emotional understanding, what you create isn't just attractive, it's unforgettable. But life isn't always beautiful, and success certainly isn't smooth. This is where another hidden strength of Libra comes to life: adaptability. While some signs resist change, holding on to routines and structures that no longer serve them, Libras move differently. They flow, they adjust, they listen to the moment, and they pivot when needed. Not because they're uncertain, but because they trust themselves enough to evolve. Think about your own life. How many times have you resisted change out of fear? How many opportunities did you miss because you clung to what felt safe? Libras teach us something powerful here. Flexibility isn't weakness, it's survival, it's growth, it's wisdom. In business, this means Libras can spot market shifts early. They're not trapped by yesterday's plan. They change course gracefully, like a dancer adjusting to new music. And because of this, they stay relevant, they stay competitive, they stay successful. This adaptability isn't just external. It reaches deep into how Libras see themselves. Unlike many people who lock themselves into a rigid identity, Libras are comfortable with change inside too. One day, they may feel like leaders, the next, like students. They allow themselves to be both. They don't fear the fluidity of identity. They embrace it. Why does this matter? Because life will ask you to grow, to shift, to become someone new, and those who refuse, break. But those who are willing to evolve, or succeed. Libras show us the power of letting go of who you were, so you can become who you're meant to be. This is a lesson not just for business, but for life. Be soft. Be open. Let change shape you, because within change, you'll find your next breakthrough. Now, let's return to something practical. Networking. We hear this word so often. Build your network. Grow your contacts. But Libras understand something deeper. Networking isn't about collecting names. It's about creating real human connections. Libras don't treat relationships as transactions. They treat them as opportunities for genuine exchange. They know that every person carries value, not just in skills or money, but in ideas, perspectives, energy. So, when a Libra meets someone new, they're not asking, "What can I get from you?" They're asking, "How can we grow together?" This approach changes everything. It builds trust. It creates friendships that last. And over time, this authentic network becomes a support system, a source of opportunities that others never even see. If you're building a business, or just trying to grow in life, this is your reminder. Stop focusing on numbers. Focus on people. Nurture real conversations. Give without expecting. And like a Libra, you'll find that what you give returns to you multiplied. Now let's talk about something few people value enough: delegation. Libras understand that success isn't about doing everything alone. It's about knowing what you do best and letting others handle the rest. This sounds simple, but in practice, it's hard. Many people micromanage. They hold on too tightly. They think, "If I don't do it, it won't be right." Libras let that fear go. They trust, not blindly, but wisely. They assess people's strengths, and then they empower them. They say, "This is yours. I believe in you." And what happens? People rise. Teams grow stronger. Workflows become smoother. And most importantly, Libras free their own energy to focus on vision, strategy, and leadership. They step back from the details and see the bigger picture. In your own life, ask yourself, are you trying to carry too much alone? Are you burning out because you're afraid to let others help? Maybe now's the time to let go. Like a Libra, build a circle of trusted people. Give them space, share the load, and watch how your energy transforms. As you can see, these 4 strengths: visual, storytelling, adaptability, authentic networking, and smart delegation, aren't just skills. They're ways of living, ways of thinking, ways of moving through the world with grace, connection, and purpose. Each of them teaches a lesson not just about success, but about inner peace. But the most profound insights are yet to come. Because the final 3 qualities of Libra, they're not what most people expect. In fact, they might just challenge everything you believe about how success is created. Stay with me, because what's coming next could change the way you see your own potential forever. Have you ever wondered why some people seem naturally calm, even when life gets hard? Why they stay hopeful without being unrealistic? This is one of Libra's quiet superpowers. They carry what I call balanced optimism, not the fake positivity that ignores problems, and not the heavy realism that makes you give up before you even start. Libras stand in the middle. They believe in success, but they see the risks too, and that balance changes how they face challenges. Imagine you're starting a new business. Some people will tell you to think big, dream without limits, ignore the doubts. Others will warn you, focus only on what could go wrong. But a Libra, they plan carefully. They see the road ahead with both eyes open. And then, they move forward anyway. They hold hope and caution together, and because of that, they're able to stay steady when life throws storms at them. But what's even more powerful is that Libras don't keep this hope locked inside. They share it. Their calm, grounded energy spreads to the people around them. Whether it's a business team, a group of friends, or even strangers, Libras inspire quiet confidence. People feel safer in their presence. They believe things will work out, simply because a Libra is leading the way. It's not magic, it's emotional maturity. It's the ability to believe in good outcomes while staying realistic about the work it takes to get there. And this way of thinking, this balanced optimism, is a mindset anyone can learn. Now let's explore another hidden strength: adaptability. Life is full of unexpected changes. We all know this. Plans fall apart, markets shift, people leave, opportunities vanish. And in those moments, how do you respond? Some people resist change, clinging to what feels safe. Others panic and lose direction. Libras, they adjust, they flow, they shift direction without losing their center. Imagine a river meeting a rock. It doesn't stop, it moves around it. That's how Libras navigate life. In business, this means they pivot when needed. They're not stubborn about old strategies. They listen to what life is telling them. They learn. They evolve. And because of that, they stay ahead. They stay relevant. They stay strong. Adaptability is more than flexibility. It's trust. Trust in your own ability to handle change. Libras teach us this lesson silently. Change isn't something to fear. It's something to welcome. Because every change is a door to new growth. Let's move deeper. Why do Libras adapt so easily? The answer is surprising. It's their relationship with identity. Many people build their lives around a fixed image of who they are. They say, I'm a leader, I'm a teacher, I'm a creator. But Libras know you can be all of those things, and none of them. They're not attached to rigid labels. Their sense of self is fluid. One day, they lead. The next, they learn. They allow themselves to grow and shift without guilt. This quiet identity flexibility is powerful. It frees them from the fear of failure. If a project fails, it doesn't mean they're a failure. It just means it's time to evolve. Think about your own life. How often do you stop yourself from changing just because you're afraid of losing who you used to be? Libras remind us, you are not your job title. You are not your past success. You are not your mistakes. You are more than any label. And when you understand that, life opens up. Now, all of these inner strengths, hope, adaptability, identity, freedom, they lead to something practical. And that's what Libras understand better than most, the power of relationships. Not shallow connections, not business card exchanges, but real, meaningful, human bonds. While many people network for personal gain, Libras connect with authenticity. They see people as more than resources. They see them as partners in growth. And this mindset changes everything. A handshake becomes a friendship. A conversation becomes a collaboration. Over time, these real connections build something bigger than wealth. They build community. And in that community, success is shared. If you're trying to grow in life or business, learn from Libras. Focus less on how many people you know. Focus more on how deeply you connect. Give before you ask. Listen before you speak. See people as people, not as opportunities. And slowly, quietly, the doors will open. What makes Libra special isn't loud. It's not dramatic. It's not always visible. But it's real. And it's powerful. Their strengths are like the roots of a tree, hidden underground, but holding everything together. Calm hope, quiet adaptability, fluid identity, authentic connection. These are not just traits, they are tools for life. But we're not finished yet, because the final three qualities we're about to explore, they are the foundation beneath everything else. They are the inner forces that shape not only Libra's success, but their entire purpose in life. And they might just reveal something about yourself you've never seen before. Let's keep going. What's coming next will change the way you think about success forever. There's one quiet force that shapes almost every decision Libra makes. Something people rarely notice on the surface, but if you look deeper, it's always there. It's their natural pull toward balance, not just in relationships, not just in work, but in every part of their life. Libras are always searching for equilibrium, between effort and rest, between saving and spending, between building for the future and enjoying the present. This sense of balance isn't a weakness, it's not indecision, it's wisdom. It's the understanding that extremes burn us out, that too much focus on money leads to emptiness, and too much focus on peace leaves dreams unfulfilled. Libras live in the middle, and in that middle ground, they thrive. Think of your own life. Have you ever pushed too hard, chasing success, only to feel exhausted, or held back too long, afraid to take risks? Libras show us that both paths lead to imbalance, and that true success is found when you honor both sides of yourself. When you learn to work, but also to pause, to build, but also to breathe. And this inner balance shapes how Libras manage their wealth too. They're not reckless spenders, but they're not misers either. They know when to invest and when to enjoy. They understand that money is a tool, not a goal, a means to create a life that feels rich, not just in numbers, but in moments, in relationships, in peace. But there's one final strength that ties everything together. Something invisible, yet undeniable. And that's self-confidence. But not the loud, showy confidence we often see. Libras carry a quieter version. A calm certainty that lives deep inside. A belief that they can handle what life brings. That they belong in the room. That they deserve the opportunities they attract. This self-confidence comes from alignment, from living in integrity with themselves. Libras aren't trying to prove anything. They don't need to convince the world of their worth, because inside, they already know. And that's what makes them magnetic. People are drawn to someone who feels comfortable in their own skin, someone who doesn't overcompensate, someone who speaks calmly, leads gently, and stands firmly when it matters. That's the Libra way. In practical life, this shows up when a Libra steps into a business pitch and speaks with quiet authority, when they navigate a difficult conversation without defensiveness, when they dare to chase a dream, not because they're fearless, but because they trust themselves enough to try. Self-confidence is what allows Libras to take risks, build partnerships, and step into leadership roles, not by force, but by presence. And maybe that's the real secret to Libra's success. It's not their charm, not their intelligence, not their skills. It's their presence, the way they show up in the world. Calm, balanced, authentic, and quietly powerful. So now, as we reach the end of this journey together, what can we learn from Libra? Perhaps it's this: success doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it looks like a steady hand, a calm mind, and a gentle heart leading the way. Libras remind us that wealth isn't just something you chase, it's something you build from the inside out, through balance, through connection, through quiet belief in yourself. And maybe, just maybe, the path to abundance isn't about becoming someone else. It's about becoming more of who you already are. If you've seen yourself in this video, if something I shared today touched a part of you, then maybe you carry more Libra energy than you realize. Maybe this is your path too. So, if you found value here, subscribe to the channel. Not because you have to, but because your journey matters, and I'd love to walk beside you. Share this video with someone who needs this message, someone who's searching for their own balance, their own quiet power, and remember, this is only the beginning. There's so much more to explore. In your mind, in your heart, in the stars. I'll see you in the next video.